Good evening everybody. I hope you're doing well this fine Sunday evening. Apologies for the tardiness tonight. I'll jump straight into the scene and have a look here and pop this one on. Good evening one and all. Thank you all for bearing with me whilst I got online and sorted. Maceo, first off, thank you very much for 18 months resubscribing with your Prime. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. So we'll start off with a whole lot of emotes for you. Thank you very much indeed for your continued support. Good evening everyone. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday evening. We have Runar, the Anq, Rob, is that Rob J? And Zetzi. Thank you very much for using your Prime. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. Let's put a whole load in there for you as well. Thank you very much. And Sukata, thank you also for the follow. We also have Kadri, Metcat, Rose is here, Darkwings here, Basic, just scrolling straight up here, Spirit Wolf, Andy, and who else have we got? The Dude No One Likes, Krozak, Maceo is in there, Marsberg, good evening to you, and Apophis, Andy, and I think that's all I've caught for the moment, and Right One too, good evening to you. Good evening all, and Natty, thank you all for stopping by. I hope you have had a lovely weekend so far. And hey, Dressing Rose, how are you? I thought I'd say to you, but good evening to you as well. And Cook Meat, good evening. Excuse me, frog in my throat. I just finished my tea, that's why I was a bit late. Just getting started indeed. You're on time, exactly right one too. The Wowhead blog is live as well, so we can have a look at that straight away. If I put I've already done the link for it already in there, so we can go and have a look at the 121st edition of the Wowhead blog. I'll probably go over and have a look at that sooner rather than later, and we'll go through all the latest goings on of the WoW gold making community as I have found it this week. There we go. A frog, you say? Dockotter, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Let's move that down a little bit so I can move that up a little bit, and then we can at least get everything lined up. There we go. So, how's everyone been? I hope you had a good weekend. What have we done since Thursday when I last streamed? I played a little bit of WoW with both my son and my wife. She gave WoW a go over the weekend, which was really good fun. And my son's got back into playing WoW as well. So I think the XP buff is having its intended effect. It's making it a much more approachable game for many people. So the first thing I was going to talk about tonight was obviously the excellent news that the Winds of Wisdom buff has been extended until the release of Shadowlands pre-patch, as well as the as of tomorrow, the impressive Influence 100% reputation buff coming through from April till May the 18th. So that's going to be really nice to see those two combined over the next month. It does give me a bit of a dilemma as to what to focus on. Do I focus on leveling or do I focus on reputations? If it's reputations, which ones do I need? I guess it all depends on where you're at in the game. If you haven't got flying, or if you haven't got any of the allied races, and you want things like that. It's Defo back in. Okay, well, you're pulling the trigger. Well, welcome back, definitely. You took the plunge and got Zanzalari Alchemy on 35 alks for the daily anchor weed bag. So that's 25,000 a day from that. But you did lose tailoring on half of them, and Inscription on the other half, but 25k in fast auction house sales is strong profits. Excellent, Dressing Rose. I'm glad you're extending your empire and making good use of all of your alts. Chromie Rep is I'm not sure whether Chromie Rep will be included because it's Legion and BFA reputations, unless I'm not sure. I know it doesn't include the Visions of N'Zoth reputations. So it could be interesting, definitely. Sportcast, how are you? Been a while. Hope I'm staying safe and holding out well. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Spending a lot of time with my family, which is absolutely amazing. Couldn't have asked for better. And Commander Bond, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. Lovely to see so many familiar faces tonight. So just going through the Wowhead blog as it currently stands, with the amazing news of the both of the buffs that are coming, with the Winds of Wisdom being extended. Modest Millions has come through a little YouTube video going through what the buff means for them and everything. So there's a visual format for that as well. Did I get my butt whooped at wrist today? Very, very close. My daughter is definitely on the winning side. You know it's gonna the tides of the game are gonna turn when people start using 2 colours for their armies. So my daughter's completely taken over Asia and Australasia. I'm barely holding on to North and South America, and my son's got the middle ground of Africa and half of Europe. So it's been a long game. We've been playing it on and off for the past 2 weeks, but it's really good fun. Detlef, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Just doing a bit of gardening, saw what time it was and left Mrs. Bond to finish up. Right, Commander Bond. Well, I'm sure she won't mind if you came back and caught up on the VOD and then finish off with the helping of the gardening. Just finishing vendors, so you assume the work. Just like the fishing vendor. He is Legion, so just like the fishing vendors, so I assume they work. Okay, Darkwing, that could be useful then, definitely. Lion Court, good evening to you. I wonder if with Rep Buff you could farm the Paragon chests. I guess there's no reason why not. I mean, that would be interesting how fast you could do that, certainly. Very excited about the extension of Winds. I was kind of not feeling well the past few weeks. Alpha stuff came out, start your itch again, but it's not going to sub, it was going away. So pretty stoked it's staying. Yes, me too. I put out a tweet asking for them to continue it, and I'm really pleased that they have continued it, and the response has been absolutely amazing on the community. Everyone is really, really glad about it. Oh, that was the deal from the start. Oh, was it? Okay, Commander Bond. Half of Europe is including or excluding the UK. That's true. That's true, Tarquin. That was including the UK when it comes to risk. There is no Brexit. You added your 2 cents to the forums as well. Excellent, right on too. More voices, the better. Good evening, Gwilyn. How are you doing? Hope your weekend's been good. Almost surreal watching people be absolutely positive with almost everything Blizz is doing. Almost as if following your community's desires is good. Exactly, Swarkus. Who would have thought it? Jack the Dipper's here. Good evening to you, Jack. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a lovely weekend so far. We're just going through the Wowhead blog at the moment. I was talking about the excellent Winds of Wisdom. Excuse me, frog on the throat. Winds of Wisdom XP buff, and then Impressive Influence. And then moving on from there, the next topic, which kind of I think is tied in with the return of lots of players, is I think the WoW token prices have taken quite a significant sort of edge downwards. Hegons was saying on Twitter earlier that North America had gone 111k. He was hoping for maybe less than 100k before starting to buy things out, but with the EU prices trending downwards as well, now would certainly be a good time to start buying tokens if you are in need of some. Excuse me. I know my subscription runs out in May, so I'm going to have to buy probably about another 5 of them myself, so that I can get 6 months. So I'm going to be definitely buying some WoW tokens if I can see them at a reasonable price. Stormcraft, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. We were talking about the Jawbreaker that gives extra XP. I missed one as well. Mr. Weekout, good evening to you as well. Hope you're doing well. What about the Jawbreaker? I can't remember the Jawbreaker, unless I've missed something completely. And good evening to you, Wave. I hope you're doing well. Remember, if you buy the Shadowlands pre-release at the Epic level, 30 days of game time is included. That is very tempting, actually, Commander Bond. Maybe to get a second account, or maybe I can start my wife out with a paid account, maybe with some gold or something like that. But we'll see how that goes. So definitely tokens are worth buying up. And then another thing I was looking at, we didn't quite catch it in last week's overview of the Shadowlands Alpha Professions, but shortly after last Sunday's stream, there was some released screenshots by Wowhead themselves, which have got a really good article about how the optional reagents might work with Shadowlands Alpha, which is really exciting to see. This kind of profession interface looks really, really interesting. I wonder how it's going to work out in terms of the market demand. Are people going to calculate what's going to be best in slot for them with all the different optional reagents? And will we return to a time when people are actually trying to specify certain items, and how we'd go about marketing those? Oh, the jailbreak. Oh, right. Okay, Darkwing, I'm with you now. Yes, definitely. Very excited about optional mats in profession stuff. Just that tiny bit of cross-profession interaction is so exciting. Yes, me too, Swarcast. I like the idea that you've got things from alchemy, jewel crafting, and enchanting all interlinking with each other to feed into the other armor professions. I think engineering as well. And all these extra bits and pieces, all meaning that even if you don't have all professions, if you've got some of them, there's going to be some desirable parts in there. I think it's a really, really strong start for professions in Shadowlands, and I hope it continues along this vein, definitely. So if you're one of those lucky people that does have alpha, or even when you get into beta, to give as much feedback as possible with the professions when you get in. I did think that myself as well, Jack. I wonder how TSM's going to work with it, but I'm sure they'll come up with a method of being able to specify certain things, or in the crafting window you'll be able to drag and drop certain bits into there. It will be an extra level. Maybe there'll have to be some extra group specifications or something like that. You found a video of it with all the profs that explained in detail on YouTube. It's a long video, but you should check it out. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Metken. I'll have a look at that one after the stream. I'll add that to my list. We haven't seen many ranked prof stuff, right? Hope they go away. Fingers crossed. Nothing that I've seen so far. No sign of any ranks at this point. So yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, I'm of equal opinion between the two of them. I don't mind ranks, but I don't mind also if they're not there. I would rather focus on something like this. Overall, I don't think having the ranks will improve this any more than it is, other than maybe making it more of a barrier to entry for many people. TSM should focus on bug fixing current. Well, they are working. I know Sapu is working on TSM more full time now, so I'm sure that they'll be able to bring some extra ironing out of creases, and always, of course, bring in whatever bugs you do find on the TSM Discord. Oh wow, Dude No One Likes, thank you very much. Little spare change for my favourite fuzzy bearded wild gold maker tag person. Love the chill streams. You do miss the Oreo cam, but it will return in time. Keep at it. Well, thank you very much, Dude No One Likes. That's incredibly kind of you. It's very much appreciated. Let's see lots of emotes for you, especially the Oreo emotes. Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind of you. We'll definitely add all the possible crafts like affixes in TSM. Yeah, I imagine they will be all in there, and then we'll be able to specify which ones we need, certainly. You're making gold, having fun, even without min-maxing TSM, so it's all good. Exactly. Sindri, I missed you there coming in. You already wonder how TSM works now. You still haven't figured it out. Well, that's fair enough, Drizzling Rose, as others have said. Let me just catch through the chat here. I'm skipping up and down. Today, at long last, you finally bought your longboy. Thanks for all the streams, tips, and tricks along the way. Much love from Norway. Oh, Sindra, that's absolutely amazing news. Congratulations. Apologies if I missed that earlier, but have a whole load of Samadan longboy emotes for that. Congratulations. That's absolutely amazing. Let me just scroll back down to make sure I haven't missed anything else there. Oh, I had to sub as well. Oh, that's amazing. Double support, the dude no one likes. Thank you very much indeed. See, extra more emotes for you. Thank you very much. And just want to make sure I haven't missed out on everything. Even rank 2 should technically be enough, with rank 3 being a boost, not the baseline. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. I wonder how it would work with ranks. It'd be interesting, certainly. The strong screen is awesome, but it kind of sounds out a bit. I had to make a macro to disenchant braces and said, yes, your macro, I was going to test that out at some point soon, Wave. I think that'd be a good idea. Like how in Legion some of the professions had mini side quests and plot lines. Nothing major, but they were cool, and I hope they return in Shadowlands. Yes, I very much would like something like that, Will Webster. That would be really good. Oh, Sindra, thank you very much for coming with your sub as well. That's very kind of you. Let me just scroll down because I missed a whole load of stuff here. Thank you very much for your support. That is most appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. A whole load of emotes for you as well. And Silent Mouse, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And what else? Do you guys know if I can check the expansion specific enchants on Wowhead? In terms of, are you thinking of Shadowlands specifically, or are you thinking of any expansion? Because in Wowhead's database, they should be able to filter it out by expansion, hopefully. Ixie Sharks, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. There's a profession data mine somewhere. I don't know how to find it. That's for Squabble, is it? Yes. There was one for basically. Now let me go, if I go back from here, and then we go from this last one to the previous one, no, not that one, Enchanting, there was a list of them here, the comprehensive list was here. If I follow this, this line here, so this gives you a list of the Shadowlands professions as of the date for when they first got data mined, I believe. Takes a little while of going through, and then from here for Shadowlands, if you then go and do, if you type in the filter like ENCHI for enchanting, oops, sold something there, then that shows you all the different enchanting professions. That's for Shadowlands Alpha, obviously, and only for when it was that date at which it was first data mined. The other way would be to go into the actual database under, where would we have a look? Character, other items. Where's professions? I can't see it here. Professions and skills, and then go into enchanting. And then under the filters, under that, you should be able to have a look. Recipes under here. Let's look at something like this, enchanting formulae, and then you can add it in expansion, Battle for Azeroth, Legion, Walls of Draenor, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria. So you can look for all Mist of Pandaria. It filters something like that, and then you've got Elemental Force and Pandaria Step and things like that. So hopefully that, either way, explains either method to you, hopefully. Hope that was useful. Chief Patriot, thank you very much for using your Prime and subbing, and also kicking off the hype train. That's amazing. Thank you very much indeed. That's brilliant. Thank you. Let's see a load of emotes for you. Thank you for your support. You didn't see the professions. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I struggle to find things sometimes. And oh, wow. Aussie DJ, thank you also coming in with your Prime. That's lovely to see. Thank you. And we've got the hype train up even to, is that level 2 already? Wow, that's amazing. You're trying to find one of my weekly wrap-ups on, oh, hold on, let me just do one thing at a time. I'll do this for the, yeah, level 2 hype train. That's amazing. Thank you for that support. and then put those emotes in for that. There we go. And I know I've missed a few things in the chat there, so I'll try and quickly scroll up to see that in a moment. Trying to find one of my weekly wrap-ups on Wowhead, and couldn't find a way to find it through Wowhead interface other than simply typing weekly wrap-up. Can you suggest them to add a feature to the website so you can check all the previous wrap-ups easily? Yes, that's a good point, Metken. I know Gumdrops had a system where he was able to tag them, so I'll ask them the same and see if there's some way we can have them all completely sort of connected together. If you do want to see any of my old ones and you're on the Discord, then I've got a separate section that shows all of the ones since I started taking over the Wowhead blog, and they're all posted there. But obviously, yes, it would be much easier if you could see them all on Wowhead as well. Got coursework stuff too. Okay, Sportcast, thank you ever so much for stopping by. And Darkwing, thank you also for the cheer there as well. Party trains, choo-choo. That's amazing. Thank you very much indeed. Let me just quickly scroll up. 750 person login queue for your classic item. Oh no, dude, no one likes. And Rob, thank you very much for your sub as well. That's amazing. Thank you very much. Is it Rob TJ or is it just Rob? I'm not sure which one. And Elaith coming in 4 months as well. Thank you both. That's absolutely amazing. This hype train has definitely kicked off to another level. Thank you ever so much for all your support. Thank you indeed. And Mushy, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And Clotic, thank you also for the follow. Lots of lovely people in here as well. What else have we got? What did I miss on the chat? Let me just go through. We read that. We did that one. Okay, I think I managed to catch most things. There we go. Got all of that. Got through that. Oh, wow. Dratu coming in with... oh, we actually have an Oreo here. Can you come and say hello, Oreo? No, I think he's going to go downstairs. He was hiding underneath the bed. And he's gone straight downstairs. But thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Dratu, thank you very much for all those bits. That's very, very kind of you. And thank you for hitting level 2 and 30% into level 3. Thank you very much. Name's Robin. Robin is your Dutch nickname. A lot of mates call me. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Robin. That's a lot easier to pronounce. Thank you. And finally catching me live. Well, it's lovely to have you here, Lathan. Thank you very much for your support. It really is appreciated. Thank you very much. Corpse Saturi, good evening to you. I hope you're having a lovely evening. I am having a great one at the moment. We're just going through the Wowhead blog as it currently stands. Oreo, human, you woke me from my slumber. I need sustenance. Yes, he's definitely probably going downstairs to have some food, I think. Most definitely. So that's a shame about the classic queues, dude no one likes. Hopefully you'll be able to, some Diablo 2 whilst you wait is couldn't go amiss, certainly. Going to spend the stream restocking wolves so you can focus on the stream for once. No worries, Drizzling Rose. It's lovely to have you here in whatever capacity. So, looking at professions, we're still very excited about Alpha and the way it's headed. So I'm very much interested in that and see how that comes through. And then if you are thinking of, if you followed any of my old, my streams from, when was this? When Billis was in last Sunday it was, in fact. Oh, right one too, coming in, choo-choo indeed, thank you, 5 months, thank you. Thank you very much, right one too, for your continued support. Thank you very much indeed. You are super duper kind. And Darkwing coming in with the emote as well. What did I miss out? You made nearly 800k from selling Uncanny stuff, so you're not upset about the XP boost being extended at all. Absolutely laugh. I've seen a lot of upticks in sale of Uncanny gear since the XP buff has come in, so most definitely. Oh wow, Lizelle gifting a sub as well. That's amazing. To cook meat. Thank you very much indeed. It's so lovely to see you all here, and your extra support just means even more to me, so thank you very much indeed. And no dream, whacking that straight through from level 3 into level 4. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. That is one of the biggest hype trains I've seen for a long while. Thank you. Level 3 is complete, and emotes are being dished out by myself as fast as I can click them. There we go. And good arena mug. Good evening to you, and thank you very much. Is there a conductor in the chat? That we might have to have one, definitely. Thank you very much for using your Prime as well. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you. I don't think I've seen a level 4 one before. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Oreo's the conductor, yes, and he's just gone all the way downstairs. Let me just make sure that I'm got myself not AFK for the moment, and we can come back to the Wowhead blog whilst I've got that screen on, just so I can keep everything on them. It will take a week with all these subs. It will at the moment, Gwilyn. Thankfully, it's not too much longer. We're going through and just talking about, this was something that was brought up by Billis last Sunday, which was a really handy script for finding out which realm specifically you were connected to, and it gave you a little feedback in the chat window within WoW, which is really useful, especially if you're looking for a new server. And this combined with WoW Progress gives you a good idea as to what you could do in terms of looking at how fragmented your realm was and how many servers it was made up from. So this was kind of like a nice indicator, especially if you were thinking of branching out into another realm or doing something a bit different, maybe spreading your gold across several realms. So it was a really handy little script. You just run that, and it will tell you in the chat window where you're connected. For me, it was Shadowsong and Asuna. So if I copy that and I run that in here, if I just type that and paste that into my chat, then it tells me connected realms, Asuna and Shadowsong. So I'm on Shadowsong, and the other one I'm connected to is Asuna. So that's really handy having that. And then another little interesting script that I've not had a chance to actually test it myself, but Gosiera on Twitter pointed this out, was it's similar to the TSM task list, but it's a way of being able to make your crafting cooldowns show actually on your action bar and show you how long they've got left. You can Gwilyn, that's one way of doing it, but this one was a nice reliable way of being able to do it in game. Natty, thank you very much for using the 300 bits. Thank you very much indeed. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you. Your realm is not connected, so that's a good sign of a healthy realm, certainly, that hasn't had the need at this stage for its population to be connected up. So this one by Gosiera was all about having a little icon that you could see when your profession's cooldowns were happening. I haven't tried this all out myself. The actual Twitter thread itself goes through all the details of being able to do it. You've been using them for 2 days now, and it makes your 40 characters daily crafting so much easier. Clicking 1 and 2 is so nice compared to opening professions and crafting with the cursor. Okay, so you found a really good use for it there, Drizzling Rose, especially with all your ults. I know on the Twitter thread you checked it out, so it's good to have some positive feedback on that. So thank you for that. So yeah, this was quite an interesting way of just making it a little bit easier for your daily cooldowns and to track when they're going to run out. So I'd highly recommend, if you're interested in that, and you don't use the TSM task list, then this is definitely going to be the way. There we go. And Ghostiera is here in the chat as well, so if you do have any questions about how to do this, here is the person to ask. How are you? I'm glad you were able, and thank you for sharing this on Twitter. It was really nice to see it, so I hope I did it justice in just pointing out these little pertinent points, and then people can come over and have a look. You use the TSM tasks. I tend to do when I can remember, certainly. Good evening, Trax. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. We have lots of gold makers in tonight, so it's great to see. So if anyone is coming in from the Wowhead blog and you do have any questions, either myself or anyone in the chat, I'm sure will be happy to ask. Coincidentally, you got the answer from the GM. Oh, there we go. The hype train level 3 was reached. Thank you, everyone who contributed to that. That is absolutely amazing. We had a choo-choo hype car That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all. A gaggle of gold makers, something like that, certainly. Sharks, good evening to you. New gold maker here, so you're definitely in good company. That basically, if you do have any questions, plenty of people on here will be happy to share their knowledge. We are a community of. I'll say a gaggle is probably about the best I can think of at the moment. Oh yes, Drizzling Rose, you were saying about the script just 2 hours after the post, and the run is okay, you should know what it does so you don't accidentally send all your gold to another player. Yes, that's basically, be aware of what it does before you start pressing on it, certainly. Hodgepodge of Merryfact, I like that one, dude. No one likes Hodgepodge, is definitely a good one. Darb2K, good evening to you. Just came back, leveled to 120, and I'm now looking to make some gold for a monthly token. What would you recommend? Oh, there's a lot of opportunities there for you. Darb, I wonder, have you got yourself BFA flying yet? Because that would help up your mobility if you're thinking of doing anything like farming herbs or if you're not interested in doing farming itself, depending on the realm you're on, professions are always a good shout, depending on what you like in terms of professions. They've all got different viabilities in terms of what you choose to do, or whether you've got lots of alts, you can do that. Or if you like just doing raw dungeon farms, there's lots and lots of different methods. It's down to, first and foremost, what you enjoy. Other than that, it's then a question of finding what works well on your server. But between those two, there's usually a method. Personally, I like professions. At the moment, I'm still really enjoying alchemy, tailoring, inscription, and enchanting as my main professions at the moment. So that's my thing, certainly. What are the dungeon farms to do right now? It's the one I can never remember the name of. I think it's called Skyreach. A lot of people talk about the one in Walls of Draenor. I think I got that right. You've made it to alive. Oh my god, Pharmacist, good to have you here. Lovely to have you. Is it Skyreach? Is that the one I'm thinking of? The one that's in the southern. It is. Okay, thank you, Clotic. Yeah, I can never remember the name of it. It keeps on escaping me. Best farm is the auction house. Well, certainly there is that, but there are a lot of people who love running through dungeons, so I can see the appeal of doing that, certainly. And then, speaking of farming things, Want to Buy Gold has made a welcome return with a detailed guide on how to farm volatile fire. So goes through all the different methods he knows, and a very comprehensive little list of all the different methodologies there. So lovely to see Want to Buy Gold back and making some videos, so it's really nice to be able to share more of his content on the Wowhead blog. So that kind of finishes up the Wowhead blog on a nice note. Excuse me. The Cow King, you're not that late, to be honest. I started late myself, so you're only half an hour late, but it's lovely to have you here. And Happiest, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Skyreach is considered the best for running gold per hour. The Panda ones are pretty good for the drop motes, harmony, and pets. There we go. And you love farming volatiles as well, Will. Excellent. As a core farmer, then that's good to know. But lovely to see you, Happiest, and I love all of those cat emotes. Those are absolutely amazing, especially the Kuhn one. That's brilliant. The word I hear on the street with the Legion dungeon runs is that they are not as good gold per hour as some of the older ones. Yes, is that a second one of that? Oh, there's an Edgar one as well. I hadn't spotted that. Oh, that's brilliant, Heaviest. Oh, excellent. That's really nice. But I wonder if they might change over time. Clotic, it could be interesting. That's really nice to see the Edgar one. Of course, Sam will be dearly missed, of course. So just to wrap that up, that is the Wowhead blog. I kind of did a bit of a whistle-stop tour running through that, going through all the various bits of news. So if you do have any questions or comments, please do put them in the comments on the Wowhead blog, or you can come here and ask us in chat here, and we'll more than happily answer your questions. So I'll finish that one off, and I will go through and check my gold for the week, because, well, I say we'll check our gold. I don't think I can actually do that with Samadan, because after my last stream on Thursday, I went and made myself about 2,500 Tide Spray braces, and my mailbox is completely full of Tide Spray braces at the moment, because I had a whole lot of enchants I needed to make. So if we go over and have a look at my mailbox at the moment, I still have a lot to process. I've got 1,400 left. We do have some gold we can look at the moment. These are sales since probably Friday morning, I imagine. Enchant cloak, enchant weapon, neck, frostweave bag, silkweave satchels, some uncanny gear, doing well there. And then the rest of this is going to be all Tide Spray braces until we get to the bottom of the mail, which will have, I believe, something like about 100,000 in the gold there. Do Dark Moon Card of War sell for any of you? I don't know, Crozag, I haven't tried those yet. It's a raw farm, so you sell the items to a vendor. Oh, is that for Skyreach Gold Farm because of the specific item, or do you run vendor raw gold? Yes, it's a raw gold farm, as Justin Rose said. But that's brilliant. The Uncanny gear is crafted, yeah. So basically, we are selling boots, cloak, mittens, and more boots there. The cloak usually is the best seller for tailoring. So that's usually the best one for that, for me, in terms of sales. But I am seeing sales of everything else as well. +1 for a long strider. Did I have a? What's the? 3 as the I think it was around 4,500 gold per 10 runs, and each run is very fast if you get 3 Ezraite items with Longstrider on them and use Bear Tartar. I hadn't thought about that with the Longstrider, but that's a very good idea. Let's see if I've missed anything there on the chat. No, I don't think I have so far. If I have missed anything, do shout out. So what I'll do is I'll pick up the sales here for now. I won't go through and bore you all with me doing all of these braces at this point, so we'll have to leave those in there for later. And I have, yeah, I'll leave all of that there for now. And I do have some to disenchant here at the moment, so those can be done at a later time. I do have 119 expulsums so far, so I'm going to be working on that one. Can you see some profits in a minute? You certainly can, Jack. Once I've gone through and checked my other characters, we'll see what TSM does once it's updated. You sell the cloak and the weapons, not much for the gear, and that deposit is brutal. It can be, and that's why you really just have to kind of like think about having a good quantity of them available so that those sales can make up for it over time. You have a speed monk whose base speed is 175,000, but the wall farm's still better for you with all your alts. If you didn't have them, you could farm Skyreach for a good gold per hour. Oh, okay. I haven't set up a speed character. I know Reckles did a video on about a speed druid that he set up, where I put all the slots, but thank you. Yes, I did wonder that with all the icons, certainly. 1 macro per cooldown, but yes, Ghost Sierra is the person here who can answer all your queries with that. And Jake Evans, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. So in terms of Samadan, I don't think I can do much in terms of restocking here. We've sold some things, obviously. We will need to do a restock. I don't think... Let's have a quick look. If I were to... Yeah, we had all of the enchants and things that I don't think I managed to completely restock on. If I was to restock now, according to TSM, I've got a lot of enchants to make, a lot of uncanny gear to make. And I could actually make some of this because I do have the I do have the veiled crystals and the uncanny the gilded seaweave and stuff for this, so maybe I should start off with a few of these whilst I'm here. What can I actually make out of this list? We'll have a look. I probably need to do at least a few Accords of Haste and Critical Strike. I won't be able to do all of those. Let's take that down to maybe 9. Gathering wise, according to that, actually no, according to that I still need 25 veiled crystals, so I am missing a fair amount. If I were to take off, let's have a look, let's just take off a couple of deadly navigations and a couple of versatile navigations and one quick, and then a couple more off of there. This should hopefully give me enough. From a veiled crystal point of view, we are down to 14 needed, so not quite there. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just kind of making a list here of things that I would. There's Machinist Brilliance. Take that down by 3. And then veiled crystals. Now we have enough to make what we've got in the list. So I'll make these. I'll go through these, and then we'll carry on for the rest of these. We are most definitely all learning every day. That is the best thing about being here, is I learn as much as everyone else. Dreadful, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. Accord Haste, you realm want. What does that mean, Basic? I think I might have missed something there. Oh, the Accords of Haste. Oh, that is going to be for a turn-in. You won't want, because those will be that. Oh no, Accords of Haste here. I'm getting them mixed up. Yes, Accord of Haste, 0.38 sale rate with a 443 profit according to that. Okay, we're missing some gloom dust for some of this now, so we'll leave that bit for the moment. We can quickly jump into cooking, make the Mekdal's big mech that we do need. We can do those without having to collect anything else up, and then we'll just jump into tailoring and make the uncanny gear whilst we can. Got a lot of other stuff we need to make and collect up the materials for, but I'll just do the stuff that I can do right now, and that will make it a little bit easier. Made 18, got 23 crystals. Is that from using Eon's enchanting rod? Do you get all of my veiled crystals through the bracer shuffle? On your server, Accords are like 50 gold profit tops and seem to be a massive amount of work for little profit. Yes, if you're only seeing slim margins, and like you said, yes, I'm using the bracer shuffle for that. It can be not very time effective, so you do have to sort of bear that in mind when doing things, certainly. Now, embroidered deep sea bags, I can make these now, just remembering, because I got a couple of tidal cores, don't I, from when we did some, what do we have here, when I did some mythic dungeons. So we need, now, where is this one? Okay, so we need aqueous alterations. That takes the hydra core, takes the tidal core, turns it into a hydra core. So if we did that, 4 of those for our hydra cores, then I can make myself an embroidered deep sea bag, which takes 2, and some embroidered deep sea satin. There's some in the guild vault as well here, so let's just make one of these and try and sell one of those, because I haven't sold one of those yet before. There we go. Trivial Gnome, good evening to you. Need to do mythic and heroic to craft those bags. Yes, it's something that I had not included in my list of things to do. So what I'll do now is, whilst we're here, well, that's true. I'll go rank 3 on the bag. Actually, I didn't check that, actually. Let me just check. Hold on. Embroidered deep sea bag. Yes, I don't have the rank 3. What am I missing here? A drop from Uldir. Okay, an Uldir run. Okay, so I do need to... it costs 1 more core. Okay, so that's going to be more expensive. I see. So that would, because I don't really have a price, I've got a mat cost set for as a fixed 1,000 gold on that. So it's still a profit at that, using 2 Hydra cores. But yeah, getting rank 3, so Uldir is the next thing to think about. So want to buy Uldir run? Yeah, I think so. If I can get that LFR, that could I could possibly do LFR run for it. Certainly, that's something to think about. We'll add that to my mental list of things to do. I want to go through and just post on what I have at the moment. So we'll just get Samadan started here. We'll run a post scan of the enchants and the things that we did make. Simpal, good evening to you. How did the Easter project work out for me with the carpentry? It was great, thank you very much. It's all successful. I just need a little bit more paint to finish off the vegetable bed, and then we can start using that, which will be really nice. But the fence is up and our house is now protected, which is good to have. So we'll get all of those posted on, and we're done on that front. So, and then the bag, let's have a look at that. It's my wife's going to do all the. She's got the green fingers. She's going to be doing the gardening side of things. She does a wonderful mix of flowers and veg. She's got some tomatoes, some squash. She's got cucumber, lots of different varieties. We've got carrots, rocket, loads and stuff going on in the garden. She has an amazing touch with all of her gardening skills. Where does the receipt for the bag actually drop? The recipe for the bag actually drop. It says will drop, but I never got it on my tailor. I'm not sure, Go Sierra, actually. Probably check on Wowhead. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember. Yeah, it would be, if we still had our chickens, it would most definitely be self-sufficiency. Odd question, how long have I been with my lady? It's been... Ooh, we're looking at probably 20 years now, I think, overall. It's been a long while and an absolute pleasure all the time. Even if they nerf speed gear in Shadowlands, that's a long minute from now, most definitely, when it comes to running through dungeons like that. And you tackle the garden this week now, you're on furlough. I'll probably wish you're at work in a few days, most possibly, Quillen, definitely. When garden gets growing, maybe a pick or two. Most definitely right one too. We'll add that in. Oh, it's the rank 2 is a world drop. Okay, let's do another 20. Thank you, Drizzling Rose. So let's have a look, and I need to bring up my bags because I haven't made a group for one of these bags yet before. Where is it? Here it is. Embroidered deep sea bag. Let's go shopping and shift right click that. So we have embroidered deep sea bags here. So the going price here is 8,200 gold. The region average is 6,600. So that would be a good price to sell it at. So I'm going to post it straight in at that. Let's just go with 24 hours. You never know. And now I'll do a rescan. There we go. Well, I came in. Oh, there's another 43 that have just gone there. Is that me, or am I at the end now? I might have to do another scan on that one. Certainly. You have bad hay fever allergies, otherwise you'd be helping with the gardening. Honest. Well, definitely, hay fever and allergies can definitely make it quite tricky. Am I back? I can't see my list of everything else, but OBS looks like it is back. One moment, I do apologise, I seem to have lost internet. Let me just see if I can refresh that window, and then I can come back to the chat from here. Yep, I can see it coming through on OBS, but my other chat window has completely frozen. So bear with me one moment whilst I just re-bring up the windows I need, and then we'll come back. There we go. Okay, so I got that window back up. Oh, now I'm echoing. Okay. And then we'll go here and bring this one up. Bring this one. And I can bring out this other window. It still says connecting to chat, so I can't quite see it there. Came back to an advert. I can see that on the OBS chat, but I can't see the chat window on my other one. There we go, hold on. Let's move this one over and see if my internet comes back properly. Right, I think that's connected now. One moment. Let's see if I can go back into WoW. So I'm just testing. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're back on that front. That's good. Strong profits. The train has hit the station. Most definitely. Hold on. There we go. We're back. We're back again. I do apologise, everyone. Let's just go back in on Samadan. There we go. Your test worked. Fantastic. There we go. Right. We should be shortly loading through. Unfortunately, my internet failed on me there. What's the best to get expulsive in blacksmithing? More hardened arm guards are still the way to go. That's where you're going, but it's taking so long to get the last numbers you need. That would... how much does it cost you to make those? Those would be the ones I would worry about, Zimpao. There may be much cheaper methods of getting it, certainly. There we go. Okay, so it's working at the moment, so click a reload. Give it another go, Go Sierra. We should be back. Yeah, try a reload and we should hopefully be back in the game. Hopefully for everyone. That was my problem. My internet went down and then OBS had trouble coming back in, and then all my windows had to be reloaded. So hopefully we're back and up and running. Thank you, Silent Mouse. Embroidered deep sea bag rank 1 is dropped by world creatures, so now we all know. Excellent, thank you, Silent Mouse. That's useful to know. Just any world creatures, so anywhere possible. Pay a tailor to make your braces if you don't have ones in PAL. Try a force close of the app, you guess. Yeah, give that a go, Go Sierra. Twitch can sometimes have problems once you've lost connection. Yeah, it's definitely, hopefully you'll be able to get it soon. And I'm definitely going to have to try and get myself an Uldir raid going from that point of view. So did I actually manage to post that on? I think I did, didn't I? So whilst everyone else comes back, we'll just go through my other characters and check on their gold for the moment. Earthen's going to be slightly tricky again because he's got a whole load of Tice Ray braces sent to him. But let's start with some other characters. So Carla, thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. We just had a bit of an internet shortage, so good to have you here. We're going to go through and check my other characters, see where they're standing in their gold reserves for the week. Now I can't remember... Yeah, we didn't have a Silas Brock all week, so we haven't been able to restock, which is terrible news when it comes to alchemy. But we do have a whole load of expires, but we do have a little bit of gold, not a huge amount. I have had better weeks for alchemy, but 69,000 in sales. Haven't used a lot of my resources as yet because I haven't been able to actually make any more. So we've got, what have we got? Unbridled Fury, Currents, Undertow, more Currents and Undertow, Abyssal Healing Potions. So those have done quite well. 69,000. We'll take those for the moment. So still definitely got time to sell my stock. Let's have a look and repost that lot on first. Blazing Nemesis, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. So we'll do auctioning and we'll run a postcard of that. A faction assault starts at 10 PM GMT. Okay, thank you, Silent Mouse. Sadly, I won't have time because I will have just finished streaming by then. But that's good to know for anyone else who's looking to level up in BFA. It's stuttering even after a forced close of the app. Guess that's it then, chat. Have you loved me? Oh, so sorry to hear, Ghost Sierra. Me to here. Ghost. Hope to see you soon. Hopefully typing works. There we go. What was that for? You should have the command you voice in my own Twitch as well. Which one was that? Darkwing. The Silas one. Oh yes, that one. Oh, for the Silas video thing that I did. I should do that. That's a good idea. I've actually got I have a video of me actually doing all the takes for that, so maybe I can do a few different versions of that one. That's a good idea, Darkwing. Okay, so we've got those posted on. Let's see if we can get a Silas. Actually, we need to do a daily cooldown first and foremost. Get one of those going, and then we need to see if we can get ourselves a Silas proc. Fingers crossed. Haven't had one all week, and we still are not blessed with one. Continuous curing tonight, so no more restocking for me. Let's just quickly check what the prices are of Zinanthid and the herbs, because if there are things that are cheap, I'll buy them up. There's not usually at the weekend, but let's have a look. I haven't seen the price of Zinanthid in a while. I do have a reasonable stock, but we do have actually a bit of gold burning in my pocket here at the moment. Zinanthid is currently at 75 gold, so I won't be buying that, because my mat cost is actually telling me 39 gold. That's a big difference. Someone has reset that market. So I think the other thing I was thinking of was an actual WoW token, currently sitting at 179,000. It'd be very tempting to buy that out, because I've got 648,000 gold. I need about 5. Then I'd have a look at. Let's have a look. Where's my window gone? I used a new window actually. Oh, I don't have a window. Let's bring up one of those. Whoops. Let's bring that over there. WoW token prices. Let's have a look. So currently 179,000. The 175 was the cheapest over. 175 was actually the cheapest over 30 days. So we are on a reasonable, reasonable shallow amount here, 7-day history wise. If we were to look at extended history and have a look at how it's actually trending downwards. So we'll go here for, if we turn off everything else, US, China, and discombobulate, we'll have a look at this. Zinanthid for you. Prices of flasks and potions are also very low on your server as well. Flasks are half their crafting cost on your server. Big sad ouch. Is that taking into account the price of the Silas proc? So EU is going from, when's this from? There's been a good gradual decline down here from the looks of things since the last month. So I would probably say now would be a good time to maybe buy a token or two from looking at this. So I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna buy at least one token, if not 2 at this point, and then I'll have another look at the price a bit later. There we go, we'll take 2. That takes me down to 289,000. And then I can always come back and spread it out over a little bit while. Oh, there we go, someone's bought a Greater Flask of the Current, so we are getting some sales there, which is nice. So we've just sold 6,000 and 2,000 of those Greater Flasks, so that's good as well. Yeah, the same, sending gold to alts didn't work through TSM. What was that for? Something weird happened to you yesterday. You sent 20 gold to your banking alt. You got mail with TSM saying gold, with subject being G as you named it, and there is no gold attached. So you just lost 20,000 gold either by WoW or a TSM glitch. I would wonder at that, Blazing Nemesis, in terms of it could be that it never got sent in the first place. So I would double check that you actually your gold did disappear first. But that is definitely odd, certainly. But yes, as Drizzling Rose says, a GM will certainly look into it for you. Yeah, same sending gold to alt. Didn't work through TSM though. Oh, and we just sold some Endless Fathoms as well. Even better. Fantastic, those are going. Thomas, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. So I'm just quickly scrolling down, seeing what I've missed. Works on the computer. Okay, Go Sierra. Okay, good to have you back. You're very new to WoW. How long would it take to make 100,000 gold? That's an interesting question, Bad Filmmaker. As you are new to WoW, I would say that is quite a lot of gold to make in a short space of time. As a experienced gold maker, someone like myself can make about 100,000 in I would say roughly a week. That's because I've set up all my professions and they're working through. I would say maybe 4 weeks at a push. It all depends on what you do and how you choose to make your gold and how much work you put in the first place to get it all set up. So as Drizzling Rose says, yes, it's all depends on what you do. So thank you, Bad Filmmaker, for the follow, and thank you, Shivran, also for the follow. Thomas, coming in 4 months. Love the calm streams during these times. That's very kind of you. Thank you for using your Prime. That is very much appreciated. Thank you for your support during these times. It is also very much appreciated. I22, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. What else did I miss there? Keep stalking. Ever since you spend like you sent 15 to a strange, you started only trading gold between alts via Guild Bank. That's interesting. I've never really used the Guild Bank much for that. Hello, Mr. Soothing Voice. Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by. Good to have you here. The go-to start would be to get 120, unlock flying, and then getting herbalism and mining and flying around and getting all the yellow dots on your minimap. As Drizzling Rose said, that is a very good start for gold making, certainly. Oh wow, Bad Filmmaker coming in with the Prime as well. That's very kind of you. Thank you for your support. If you do have questions, there are plenty of people in the chat that will be more than happy to answer, myself included. Quick question. Oh, what did I miss? You have heard that you don't need to include the Silas proc in TSM custom source anymore. That's not something I've heard, Tower. I haven't changed my my methodology at the moment. I'm not sure where that would come from. If you change your material prices rather than changing the crafting source, then I wonder unless TSM has made a change that I haven't noted. I'm definitely not sure of that one. But if you can point me in the right direction, I'm happy to stand corrected. Rasheen would know, most definitely. What else did I miss? You never mail gold to alts without a BOA item included, like a pet bandage or something. I've always not had a qualm about mailing gold, but I don't do it that often, to be honest. Every of my characters tend to make their own gold now. Making gold is tricky, and at time luck helps. By chance got 2 battle pets which were fairly popular and ranged 15 to 30k, made 40,000 gold in just a few minutes. Very nice, Blazing Nemesis. Yeah, those kind of things, when the luck does strike, it's very nice to have indeed. And yeah, rep bonus is for tomorrow, starting that's definitely going to be good. If she says so, then they'll believe it, most definitely. Currently level 70, trying to get there. Well, you're on. Make sure you enjoy the journey, Bad Filmmaker, especially your first time playing through. There's so much lore and story and things to explore in the game. Take your time and enjoy it, certainly. What is the price on Versatile Dark Opal on my realm? Versatile Dark Opal. Never heard of that. Versatile Dark Opal is currently coming in at 80 gold. with a market value of 104. Region is 103. Region sale is 54, so that seems to me reasonably cheap. A plus 50 versatility gem of some kind, it would seem. TSM stops you sending mail to the wrong person. that is also very true, McBainey. Is there a way to make money from level 2 potions? You have alchemy in your alt, but no reps, so you can't get any level 3. If TSM says it's a profit even at rank 2, then it is possible, depending on your material costs. But really, for most servers, having rank 3 and the Silas proc is what really is what counts. Much better than your realm. Is on 9 gold. Wow. Okay. Do I dual craft for gold making? Not yet. I would like to, though. I would like to add it to my list. I am going to, of my characters, we're going to have a look at, let me just actually log out whilst I'm here, because we're going to jump through some characters. So we currently are looking at, I'm thinking of Feng Shu, my monk, being my alliance dual crafter, and Nadamas is my current thoughts of having a horde side dual crafter, but I don't think I really need 2 dual crafters, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with Nadamas profession wise. But we'll carry on first, going through these characters. Let's go with Samadan and Inscription. Strong profits. You need the stonks. What else did I miss here? From tomorrow and a month ahead, you get 100% more rep in Legion. Yes, that is true. Your journey to gold making is going to be going off like a rocket. 60k weekly revenue and 21k profit. You miss the starting days. That's very nice. Well, minus 21k profit. Yes, the starting days are great fun though, Jack. Every time you see Drew's name, it reminds me that you need to collect work orders in the garrison. And Blackbriar, thank you very much for the follow. Is sniping basically dead with the new auction house? I think it's a lot less... minus, yes, definitely. I think it's definitely a lot less appealing now, because I think TSM has to look at the whole auction house, so I don't think it's as quick. And I'm sure it's probably on other servers slower than mine, certainly. If you just started with herb and mining, should you keep collecting until you get the quest to gather better? Yes, keep on doing that, because the higher ranks do mean that you get more for each node, so it's definitely worth it. Right, we have a whole load of expires to deal with first, but we also have a very promising week here of Inscription. So last week I generated about 41,000 in sales, and then I spent all of that on extra Zinanthid and herbs to restock, and then my restocking for this week, including sales we've got here, gives me 65,000. So Inscription is looking stronger and stronger with the small sample that I'm currently doing. There's still more and more that I can do. I haven't even touched the glyph market yet, so there's a lot more I can do with Inscription. So this is looking really good. I'm really happy about that. You feel like playing WoW? Haven't played since MOP. Should you wait for Shadowlands? Oh no, not at all. Jump right in now. There's so much to do, especially since Mr. Pandera. There's a lot to catch up on. So although I would say Shadowlands will make it slightly more cohesive in the new sort of leveling changes, we don't know when Shadowlands is going to be released. We don't have a release date yet. So if you feel like doing it and it sounds like fun, then I would definitely give it a go. How do I know if milling is worthwhile? Well, I basically look at the... I don't sort of look at it as whether it's worthwhile or not. I look at the TSM crafting cost. I take the look at the cheapest herb, and then I have an ink value for that. And basically I use Bilis Onyxia's string for pricing my inks, which is very similar to the default TSM one anyway. I didn't notice a lot of price difference when I did swap over to using it. But the main thing you're looking for really is not so much whether the milling is worthwhile, but whether the actual end result is worthwhile. Am I EU or US? I am on EU, on Shadowsong. I hope Shadowlands not coming soon. You just got 1 million, 4 million missing. Oh, well, congratulations on the 1 million. That's a great milestone to have, certainly. Use this to value the pigments. Is that the Billis Reddit post? Yes, that's the one. That's the one I use as well. Yeah. Right, so let's have a look. Let's open up all of this. 65,000 highborn compendiums, uncanny etched vessel there, and a few other bits and pieces. So I'm really happy with that. Let's start with posting everything we do have on first. There we go. Am I by any chance farming previous expansion mats or full focus on BFA? Most of my stuff is regular BFA, but some professions like tailoring and enchanting certainly make use of the old world stuff, especially the leveling enchants and all the different bags are doing particularly well at the moment. With my newer professions, I've only really got BFA, so with leatherworking and Inscription here, I tend to just, and alchemy for that matter, I tend to focus just on the later BFA and stuff for my gold making. At this current time, that's always open to change. I would like to get further deeper into my professions as well as breadth as well. So from here, I need to do a restock. So we're going to go through here. Let's clear Samadan's queue, which is massive, and we have some war scrolls of fortitude, and then we got a few different bits and pieces here. We've got a fair amount. We just need the light parchment, so I'll pop on over to where I can get it cheaper over the other side rather than using my mount, and from here we'll pick this up and I'll get myself maybe a stack or two of light parchment, and then we can make these with our Inscription. Deep sea bags come back to sell at acceptable prices. Is the mammoth, does that take into account reputation? Tingerok, because that was the thing with the Brutosaur mount, it doesn't take into account reputation. You just have 2 more tunes to level before you have all the professions you're missing. Oh, it's very small, is it? Yeah, I've thought that with the Brutosaur mount as well, but I figured I might as well try and keep my costs as reasonable as possible. This count is like 500 gold. 500 gold is a lot of gold, certainly. So I'm currently sitting at 66,000 and I have a decent amount of materials on me, so I'm in a good position here. So let's go with that. So does the Brutosaur mount have a discount with reputation? No, it doesn't. It just gives you at the base price. So it is a bit of a problem, that one. Oh, you're not open on my rich alt. Got it. So did I post these? Let's have a look. I don't think I did. There we go. Contracts going on, minimum price. And in what order would I recommend watching my videos? Starting out with TSM Guide on YouTube, Deep Dive series, and then rewatch my Twitch streams from Sundays. I think that's a pretty good order, I would suggest, Robin. Yes, the TSM Guide, obviously, even though it was done before 8.3 and the auction house changes, it's still very much relevant, definitely, when it comes to getting to know TSM as a whole. And then what you can do with my deep dive videos, especially with something like getting started in alchemy, is you can see my thought process going through it. And then that adds another layer of knowledge on that. And then obviously the stuff we cover here is going through my regular posting operations and things like that. And I try to include me setting up new things at the same time, because I'm always tweaking and changing my my TSM operations and groups and things as I develop. For instance, looking at this, have I made everything in my Uncanny list? Let me just check. We've got an etched vessel here that I haven't added in, so I need to add that one in. Everything else I can probably leave, and then I'll post that scan to get that last one added in there. You can make 1,000 gold in an hour farming with a trial account. You need seed gold on a new server for that. I've never really been a fan of using a trial character for making gold. I'm not sure if it's... I meant to tag the other person. Oh, right. You mean hyper farming, not farming herbs. Interesting idea. Yeah, I don't tend to like the idea of using trial characters, even using a rogue for lockboxes and things like that. Strong profits, exactly. Actually, good evening to you, fellow treasure seekers. I like that. That's very nice. Right, so in terms of things here, let's have a look. I think we're okay on Inscription for the moment. I don't need to... Well, what we could do actually, now that we have some gold on us, is we can have a look and see if there are any cheap herbs. Preferably below 8 gold would be nice. We'll run a shopping scan here. So 6.95 is looking appealing. So I'm trying to basically look at all the different herbs and buy the cheapest ones for milling. So everything else has an 8, 10 gold price, my average buy price here at the moment. So if I can definitely get these lower, that's a good sign. So we've got 3,000 Winter's Kiss for 688. That's the cheapest it's been for a while. So I'm going to buy out 3,010. We'll leave one on just for that price. And then how many have you got at the higher price? 689. We've got 67 at the next higher price. So that's fine. And then we have a look at the Siren's Pollen, which is also a similar price. Maybe 1,000 of that. Although we don't really want to go below that. We've already got, that was 45,000 we're down to. We've spent 20,000. The rest I want to buy is Zinanthid more than anything else. So I'm going to wait for that price to be lower because I need the maroon ink, the maroon pigment at another time. We don't have any on us at the moment. Awakening has all of that. So I'll leave that for the moment. I'll save the rest of my money for elsewhere. But I'll pick up those Winter's Kiss. We'll definitely need those. There is a hand in actually for Winter's Kiss. What is that for? That's not it. Where is the work order? Gives me 5 anchor weed. That's probably worth doing. So where is that? Is that the one around the corner? I think it must be. Let's go have a look. 20 Winter's Kiss for 5 anchor weed. Are you the person I want? No, it must be the one in down here. There you go, work orders down there. It's the one in the bottom. Let's go have a look. Oh, got stuck on something there. Got stuck in the barrel there. That doesn't help. Can't move very quickly. So let's get ourselves steered down here and do the work order in here. And we'll get the Winter's Kiss for that. Check your map, silly. Exactly. And +1 in Culturian Herbalism. There we go. We could probably do the same there on Awakening as well, for that matter. Okay. So, I know I've missed a few things there in chat. Let me just run through another character and we'll have a look, see if I missed out on anything. What have you got? 22 on yours. Zenith is 75. It's 20 gold in your server. Yeah, I mean that is quite a high price certainly. Let's just jump into Earthen whilst we're. Do I sell the inks themselves? I don't usually, Crowsang. I literally just I tend to make use of them myself more than anything else. Haven't been able to sell them this late in the expansion. No, I imagine most people will be wanting to actually get them, make them themselves, certainly, rather than buy them. There we go. Tio Dabest, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Can't remember if it was Ward you tried. That was for something I missed earlier, and Rose is helping with that, so thank you both for that. We have a whole load of expires here. 133 in the mail. Let's take the expires first. such a rush mindset coming this weekend, but then Blizzard brings Xmas Spring and then extending the XP buffs. Yes, it was lovely to see. Definitely, I think we're all happy with that. Primal TV, good evening to you. Have started... Ooh, it's coming up too fast. There we go. I've started a new character, new server, new faction, just to spread the gold making around. What profs would you recommend to start with and then swap to? I would probably say gathering ones to start with would be my first choice, and then swap to an actual profession at a later point, certainly. It's not good for your herbing character, and flasks are really cheap, to be honest, so only making small profits from alchemy. That's a shame, because alchemy can be really good. Oh, here we go. We've got a whole load of sails at the bottom, but we also have a load of tight spray braces to deal with here. Let me post the rest of these on. Let's deal with the expires first, and then we'll go and have a look at the sails here for the moment. Extension debuffs, Blizzard listening to requests. You'd love to see it, most definitely. Let's go through and do a post scan here. So we're going to get our drums, our uncanny leather gear and stuff like that. Gathering should always be your first option. That even helps out with your leveling with your characters. This is true. Mining does give you, and herbalism does give you a nice little XP boost, certainly. Checks in the realm is good for selling pets. You could try and sell some pets that you have. This is also a good idea. I never really got into the pet selling market myself, but I can see the appeal of it, certainly. It's like cross-market, cross-server trading. So, uncanny gear, all going on. We managed to restock on a load of this on Thursday, I believe. So, we have a reasonable amount of gold reserves here, 429,000. We'll probably have to do something with buying a token on this character as well. So with all those listed, let me just check if there's a restock requirement here. Just a little bit of uncanny gear, but we're missing the expulsum, obviously, here. So what I'll need to do is open up some of this mail and scrap this. I'm not going to do that tonight just yet. Let's go through our gold making still. So we do have some uncanny sales for the week, 50,000 in sales. Lots of leather, more than mail. A few mail items here, but good prices here for the mail. A mail waistguard there for 7,000. And then some coarse combatants waistguard. Drums of the Mountain, Drums of the Fury. So we'll take the sales, another 50,000 there. Mandera leveling brackets, particularly fantastic to level up with farming and the pet fights. I haven't used the pet fights, but in terms of leveling up, I certainly did that with El Morte, my Death Knight. So I'll leave all this tie spray that's sent over from Samadan. But gold-wise, we're now looking at 479,000. I have a whole load of exotic leather that I bought last time. We got that for a cheap price. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that at the moment. Thank you, Gorgon. We're doing okay so far. I haven't totaled up everyone's gold, but I would say we have... What is TSM currently telling me? So the past... Let's have a look at the past 7 days. But it's not a good... It's probably because we just bought the tokens as well. So we just dropped down to 1.5 million gold across all characters. According to that, I would say. But let's go through and just check our last characters and see what happens. Every pet fight gives you now 20,000 XP. Oh, right. Daily cooldown leather working for the recipes is what we wanted them for, Sam. Yes, correct, Will. I remember. It was the magnificent leather, wasn't it? So moving through my characters, we have El Morte, who is level 115. I would like to get him moved over from alchemy to blacksmithing. He still has mining. I would like to get him up to level 120. Have to have a think about what reputations he might need now that the reputation buff is coming through. We have an assault coming on at 10 o'clock tonight, which sadly I won't be able to make this time. But let's have a look for... It takes about 30 minutes to an hour before it updates the player's gold overall characters. Okay, thank you, Silent Mouse. So it's probably not quite accurate yet anyway. So many people PM'd you for the guide. So happy to help. Oh, excellent, Dressing Rose. That's good. I'm glad people are seeking out your help. That's really good. It's not instant. It would be a shame. It's a shame it's not, isn't it? Right, we have some expires. We're still doing alchemy at the moment. We're doing mainly... this is from when Jack the Dipper had his alchemy website, and I've got his dipping for gold groups here. So what we're doing here at this point is we'll post them on, and then we'll change this over to blacksmithing at some point. Sniff, sniff. Exactly, Jack. We do miss your site, certainly, the good old days. So we've got, some of this is just random things, but we've got living steel. Is that really at 2,600? That's a reset price if ever I saw one. We'll try and sell some for that price if at all possible. That's very nice. I will need, if I was to still continue with alchemy, I would need to make some more living steel. I don't know what I would need to actually restock on. Let me just check that. If we go to our group here, and alchemy, living steel, panther stuff, and the potion of luck is what we're focusing on here. So we've got some potion of luck and sun's radiance, according to this, to make. Does that mean we actually sold a potion of luck? Let me just check that. I don't recall that we did. I don't have one on my list here. Potion of luck. So we don't have one on. They're currently really cheap at the moment. And crafting cost is 34. Chesy TV, thank you very much for the follow. And I know this isn't actually used. It's not. It turns out it's not lucky after all, but it is used for alchemists. So I last sold. So it says here I last sold 315 days ago. So it's been nearly a year since I sold one. So I'm probably not going to bother making that at this stage. I mean, even though that does say a profit. I'm surprised I don't have any. I mean, I have sold 4 of them. I don't actually have any on me though, interestingly. So why I haven't restocked on those in the past, I don't know. So there seems to me there's something slightly missing in the list there. Let's just check that. Then let's check my auctions again, and then let's go over to alchemy. It does nothing exactly, but it is used for. It's used for the. Is it the potion master? Yeah, it's the potion master quest. That's yes, as Bacon Snack said. Yeah. Managed to get back to 5 million gold after buying the Brutal Sword. Been selling so much Uncanny gear the past few weeks. Oh, that's excellent, Neander Brand. That's really good, really good. We don't just miss the site. Yes, exactly. For the Potion Master quest. So let's do a restock here. So maybe I hadn't restocked it before because it wasn't a profit before. That would be my first thought. What I will do though is do the. Oh, have I not got a Philosopher's Stone? Have I put that somewhere? What is in my bags? I've got bags full of a lot of stuff. So let's have a look and see what we're missing here. It's probably in my bank somewhere. I probably cleared things out, knowing me. Or I just got rid of it looking at this. I don't have anything in there. What's in my reagent bank? A whole load of other stuff. Oh, how would I spot it from here? I'll do a search, but it might not necessarily be that counts as a Philosopher's Stone. Let me just check. Mining skills, alchemy. Let me search. Nothing in there. Let's go to the standard one. Let's try it this way. That's not coming in my alchemy at all. Zen Alchemist Stone. That's not what I want. That's a trinket. What am I missing here? There's a lot I haven't learnt here. Alchemy of Pandaria, Transmute, Riddle of Steel. The trinkets count as... is it the trinket I have equipped? Oh, that's what made me think about it, actually. Discovered recipes reveal. Oh no, I need to look at this. Can be used for transmutations in place of Philosopher's Stone. Ah, now I remember. I must have gotten rid of one of these and made it into something. Catsup, thank you very much for the follow. It works as one, yes. Thank you, Mushy, and thank you, Yando Brand. Yeah, so no, I'm not looking for the BFA one, but I realised then that I must have upgraded my trinket and not realised that I'd actually gotten rid of my Philosopher's Stone in the process. So I might actually leave that for the moment. These do require it though for the... Okay, I'm going to bite the bullet and make one. It takes Golden Lotus. Crafting cost is 104 gold. I can afford to make that. Yeah, I don't have one from Draenor, because I literally have just done the Pandaria side of things here. I thought I had more, but obviously not. Now, do I need it equipped is the question. Let me just check. No, we just need it in our bags. That's even better. So let's go to TSM, and we can make our Sun's Radiance. Okay. We can at least stock up on these. I can't do the Living Steel, although it would be very tempting at that price. In order to do the Living Steel, I will need to process some of my Ghost Iron ore and my Motes of Harmony. Let's make the Potions of Luck whilst we're here. And so Living Steel, working backwards through the list, if we go here into my smelting, mining skills, here we go. So smelt, Ghost Iron. So I have some Ghost Iron ore. I don't have much of the actual Ghost Iron itself, so I'd have to go straight from Ghost Iron. I need a forge for that, obviously. So let's just go over here. Let's see if we can find ourselves a forge. I don't really want to do this much of it though at this point. Where would a forge be? This looks forge-like. We're going to need to come here anyway at some point. So smelt Ghost Iron, and we'll start with that. Do older pots actually sell? Some of them do, certainly. You have TSM set up for my guides. Any tips on what professions to use for gold making? I would love to learn some professions, and TSM information isn't available because you don't have the recipes learned or marked up. So you could always check the Undermine journal. In terms of professions, the easiest ones to probably get into would be the tailoring, blacksmithing and leatherworking, and making uncanny gear at this stage. The other ones that take a little bit more investment are things like enchanting and alchemy, because you then need to get the tools of the trade for those. And a middle ground one I would say is Inscription, is still doing quite well for me at the moment. Except for Tomorrow Shuffle, you bought 6k of tie spray linen at 149 each. Very nice. So you're hoping they'll get you what you need. Excellent Zimpal, that sounds like a great start, certainly. No problems, Sharks. Hopefully that's useful to you. Invisible, speed, water breathing. Yeah, there's quite a few of the old potions that do sell. Start with the ones that require less reputation on recipes. Yes, so the base ones, tailoring, blacksmithing, and leatherworking. I think a lot of the time they're used for utility or skips, or they're used in specific things like, is it the Vial of the Sands that uses certain amounts as well? Exactly. Person using Viz on your low geared alts to skip straight to the boss in Visions. Yeah, I think they are used for cases like that, aren't they? So I'm making Ghost Iron. I'm going from the Ghost Iron. I then need to use my alchemy to make the Ghost Iron bars into something. I need to swap to my alchemy once I've done that. I'll let this run through a little bit. We've got quite a lot of Ghost Iron ore here we can process. I don't know how much living steel this will make me. It's great to see some Legion stuff in there as well as Pandaria. Okay, let's leave it at that point, and then let's swap over to alchemy. And so we've got transmute Trillium bar. That's the next part, using our Ghost Iron bars into Trillium, so we can create all from here. I was going to drop alchemy for blacksmithing. I am indeed, Will, so I might as well make use of it whilst I've got it. Considering that the living steel price was so high, I might as well try and generate some more living steel sales. So we've got Transmute Master as this alchemist, which is why we're doing this on this character and not Awakening. And I got a ×2 trillion bar there. So now we can do the Riddle of Steel, which is using I've got loads of Spirit of Harmony and the trillion bar, so I can make 4 from the Riddle of Steel. Alchemy is dipping hard for the past couple of weeks. It can be rough, but it is. We've got a couple of procs there. Living steel. We've got 6 living steel out of that. Not too long ago, someone noticed you posted a lot of crafted transmug on, and Cashin delivered you 100,000 gold worth of ghost iron ore for half the price. Oh, very nice, very nice. As you need to harmony to skip the daily cooldown. Exactly. So I'm using Riddle of Steel here, which is allowing them to ignore the normal 1 day of rest. And my Spirit of Harmony price and my trillion bar price are about the sort of same from this point of view. So I've made my living steel. I'm going to go post some more of that on whilst I have some, which I think is a good idea at the moment at that price, 2,600. Haven't seen it at that price for a while. So we'll put some more on at that price and see if we gather any sales. And if I sell some Potion of Luck, that will be definitely very lucky. The Redesmore Hatchling and the Planned Thorium leggings are above max expires, so I have to decide what I'm going to do with those at a later point. So we do have other things we can do here. We can do some levelling. We're using Azeroth Autopilot at the moment to help me out with levelling at the moment. I've got a whole load of stuff going on here. And then the other things I can look at are... we need to go over and have a look at Nadamas, my vendor horde seller. So this is the only other 120 I have at the moment. This was the character I made purely for playing with my son who plays horde characters on the most part. Hot in the first month or two after a new raid is open. It is, and then people will still use it throughout for those guilds that aren't quite at that level, and also for people doing mythics and things like that. Still good profit, definitely, as Crozek says. It's just not as massive as it is before that. It's because it's used for the Potion Master. Got it. My son's right, for the horde, exactly. So in terms of just vendor sales, let's take the expires. We have essentially made 1,700 this week in selling the vendor items that comes with the Brutosaur mount. So literally powdered sugar, rough stone, fusaka, fresh potato, some nylon thread there. So we'll take all of those. This character doesn't really have a lot. It has dual crafting at the moment. I'm just trying to build up some cash reserves. So this is a very simple, easy way of doing that without spending too long on the character. I've currently got 16,000 gold. So this is going to be my starting gold for learning a new profession. So it's quite good fun to just literally log on for less than 5 minutes, buy the vendor items that I need. So I'll go over here where I can get a faction discount as best as possible. We'll use TSM and we'll use the group here to buy the groups I need. We might have to check on the auction house first before buying it. I may have actually bought everything I need. Yeah, we haven't got anything on at the moment, so let's run a post scan with what we have. I don't think I've put it in my paste bin yet, Korzak, but it's very, very simple. I can run it through now. So basically, all those are vendor sell. There's a few other bits and pieces here. And then, so if I look at my auctions there, so we've got all of those on at 200. So I think I've got everything on there. Let me just check that there isn't anything. I'll use this one. Oh no, there was a couple we missed. Whoops, I used the Brutosaur instead by mistake. Fusaka and powdered sugar we bought there. So all it is, let me just post those on. And Fusaka and powdered sugar. So basically what I have is I have a group. I'll show you my TSM setup. It's really simple. So I have a vendor sell group. which has in all the items from the Brutosaur mount: wildflower, nylon thread, coffee, light parchment, insulated wiring, all of those. And I have a simple group operation called vendor sell. And that group operation has under here a posting operation of 24 hours and a post cap of 200, so I only buy 200 at a time. And then my minimum price is 120% vendor buy, because I'm using the vendor buy price, not the vendor sell price, because I'm buying these from the vendor. So I don't want to sell them any more than the cost of it cost me to buy, with a little bit of a markup as well. So 120% of what it cost me to buy them. And then my maximum prices of these, this is where I've got the big markups. The maximum price is a maximum of 1000% of vendor buy, or the DP region market average, whichever is the two. And my normal price is 200% vendor buy. Usually there's someone else selling these, so I'm just doubling my money in most cases, but most of the time I'm undercutting by this amount. And that's the posting operation. But it also has, under vendor sell, under the group operations, we also have a vendoring operation, which allows me to restock on items that I've sold. And so this is, again, very simple: buy vendor items, enable buying is checked, and the restock quantity is 200. The reason I don't set it for 48 hours is simply because A, deposit costs, and B, I usually do this quite frequently, and I quite often get undercut, so there's no point in me listing them for 48 hours. So I'll just every day just quickly run through and sort this one out manually. And so the default vendor operation also has sell, enable selling, but I just keep mine as enable buying and restock with 200, and sources to include for restock is whatever I've got on the auction house, which is why I had to have those on the auction house for it to then buy them. I could probably add on as well, if I add on bank, and I won't include alts on this, let's include mail as well. So, but I just keep auction house on at the moment. This vendor buy sell scheme gets better when you are exalted with Proudmoore, lowers your buy price from 60 silver to 48 silver. Exactly, Go Sierra. It's much better when you've got a good reputation. Okay, excellent. I hope that makes sense, but that is literally the simplicity of it. I haven't changed anything else on that. And that is the group. And obviously this is very, very basic. I'm only doing what I buy off the Brutosaur, or in this case off of this trader here, Georgia. And there's another one over here. You can do this with so much other stuff, copper rods and all sorts of vendor items throughout the world. Maybe it needs a bit more of a in-depth look at in terms of what you can buy. The shirts are one of the things that I did try at one point, but those can be quite expensive. So with those, and extend it to pick up the recipes as well, exactly as Will said. No problem. I hope that was useful. Is that 2 million gold? 2.5 million. Oh, you're at 2.5 million gold. That's fantastic. You just need 2.5 million for the long boy. Fantastic, Justin Rose. Long boy number 2 is well underway. And Morombo, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So, looking at my characters now, where are we at? 9:15. So, we have a number of options in terms of things I could do. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Hellfire, my Warlock character. El Morta is going to have blacksmithing eventually, blacksmithing and mining. So we could do a little bit of leveling up of this character. We also are needing to do some restocking here of Samadan, who definitely needs to restock on a lot of stuff here. So let's just have a look at this and see what we can deal with at the moment. Obviously we've got a load of Tide Spray here. We've got the same with Earthen as well. He's having to deal with a lot of scrapping at the moment. Good evening, Jeannie. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Now, there was one thing I wanted to test out when it came to scrapping. I wanted to see how much faster it was potentially by using the other scrapper. If you ever do an Uldir run, I need someone who can explain bosses, let you know. Oh, thank you, Ghost Sierra, that's very kind of you. I have no idea with the with all the I haven't really done any raids at all, exactly. Can I paste the max price of the vendor sale in chat? Certainly, Silent Mouse. One moment. I'm just going to read Rose's. Have I ever done 10... Oh, hold on. Have I ever done 10-man or less farms like titanium ore, arcweed and stuff like that? No, I haven't, Alexanderson. Card of Omen status stats. Here we go. 252,000 cards. Total gold from it's 1.2 million gold. Average is down by 9 silver. So 4 gold, 81 silver per card. It's still very nice profits, Dressing Rose. Is it choppy at the moment? It might be choppy. There we go. Sounds fine on your end. Okay. So it might be just the phone. Let me just say, so vendor sell in chat. So let me just go over from here. I'll go into I'll just jump over to Nadamas's profile. And then we'll have a look there into, oops, need to open that anyway. Groups, vendor sell, group operations. Kami-sama, good evening to you. Vendor sell, posting, max price was this one. I'll copy and paste that in. So that is the max between either 1000% vendor buy or DB region market average. So I'm using DB region market average there just to see what kind of prices everyone else is having. But usually the 1000% vendor buy is the one that wins for that one. Okay, baby just woke up. Could be baby monitor interfering. Oh, right. Okay, Doc Otter. So let's jump back to Samadan's profile. Hopefully this is all correct and present. This has got everything I want in it. Yep, there we go. No problem. Already there. Come check out the Oreo pics. Oh yes, of course, Darkwing. Lots of Oreo pics on there. If you're missing the real life Oreo, who's sadly not with us at the moment, he's downstairs probably getting himself all comfortable. So in terms of Samadan, he spent a lot of gold. We're only at 478,000 gold because I spent a lot on tide spray linen, which is all tied up at the moment. In my, if you have a look over here, all this tide spray linen here, we've got a couple of sales there, but we've got a load of tide spray linen here that I need to deal with. Now I was thinking of, you know, if I'm going to scrap, I could scrap here in Borealis, but it's quite laggy. So I wanted to go and have a look at what it was like at the other scrapper, the one that you can open with the work table, the missions that you have here, and then you can unlock it. I believe it's in Zoldazar, I think.
Have a good one.
I need to try and remember this. I have to try and remember where it is. This will be a good exercise in finding out where I left the scrapper. Now I believe it's over here, Mugamba Overlook in Zoldazar. That is not very often used. So I'm going to go and have a look and see if it's the one I remember. I think it's this one. It's either this one or... don't think it's any of those ones. I think it's Mugamba Overlook. I'm going to have a flyover and have a look. So obviously any time you might save using a less laggy scrapper like this over here. Yeah, I think it is this one. It's not often used, obviously because you've got to fly over there, so it's not as convenient as the Horde being able to go other places. I can't remember where their second scrapper is. Let's go have a look. It's not in there, is it? No. Got to go a bit further around. Is it not the one next to Atal Dazar? Yes, I think it is. This one. This is the one I'm thinking of, isn't it? That's 7th Legion. You buy yours 1 gold, silver or lower, and you get 4.8 gold for oh, that's for your carbs and stuff. Okay. Then there's a short ways to the one right by the dungeon. Oh, okay. Is there one right by the dungeon as well? I'm not familiar with this area. Yeah, that's the one. You brought the mats to a level leatherworking. Should you scrap the things you are making or disenchant? Maybe sell them if TSM is attractive. Sell them if you can. That will give you the most gold, hopefully. Right. So I'm looking down. I'm not looking to go down there. Hold on. Where are we at? We need to go over here. That's not the place I wanted. There we go. So yeah, here we go. Here is the scrapper, because we've opened this up, and then we do have a mailbox here as well. So we're actually closer between here and the mailbox for scrapping. We just don't have access to a bank. That's the main thing here. So if I was to set this up, Uncanny Combatants boots, I don't want to be getting rid of. Let me just add those to a group. Tailoring, Uncanny selling, Uncanny satin boots. We'll add those in. So then we can go. The second horde scrapper is at Vigil Hill, Tiragard Sound, just for information. Okay, thank you, Silent Mouse. Very useful for those that are on the horde side. Never got flying before your break, so that's probably why. Yes, and you have to upgrade this area. It's not this area isn't here to start with. You get a world, not a world quest, but one of the mission tables to unlock this, and then that makes this accessible. But it is a lot quieter here, obviously. So what I'll look at doing here, obviously because I have the Brutosaur, I can post things on, which does make things easier. So I'll run a post scan for that Uncanny Combatants boots. We'll do that, and then what I'll do is I'll disenchant the stuff I have. Now this should help with disenchanting as well. Obviously I'm not using the macro for disenchanting, so TSM can sometimes get stuck, but this does seem on first impressions better at this point in terms of not getting stuck. So if you were looking for a nice quiet place to scrap, I would definitely recommend this. It's just not something I've tried myself, but I have read about it. I remember Rasheen telling me about it a long time ago. Fox, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So that's that side done. Then what's really good is actually we're so close to the mailbox. I really like this side of it. This is going to save me some time. So I've got all of these braces to open. So I don't want to open the gold. I want to keep that. So I'm going to hold Control and Shift down and click Open Mail, and that will just open everything else but the gold. How does my TSM story only show blues? It's because I actually only had blues in the Ghost Sierra. All my greens had already been scrapped, so there wasn't any special magic on that. If you play with war mode, you can play around with the various horde raiding parties there. Interesting idea, Noel. Yeah, definitely. Did leatherworking take me a while to get uncanny gear, or was it relatively quick? It was pretty quick, Doc Otter. It didn't take me long at all. The hard thing is obviously getting the marks of honor for Control and Shift, or Control is enough. Control is enough. The only reason I press Control and Shift is because if I open up more than the Shift allows me to carry on opening up beyond a mailbox refresh, and as it's only 15 seconds at the moment, it kind of just keeps it ticking through. Yeah, but you're right, you can just use Control. Scrapper Dan. I like that. I might have to use that one. Sharks, thank you very much for your sub. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. Let's see a load of emotes for you. Thank you for your support. It's very much appreciated. So what I'll do now is I've got a couple of slots free, so I'm okay to just go straight over to the scrapper now. And we don't have any blues here in our list, so we can literally queue all of these lot up and scrap this first. We have a whole load of expulsum at the moment, 69 expulsum. We do need, actually I do need some gloom dust, so I'm going to have to think about that as well. 100,000 gold, and it's yours. I should have made scrapping a dedicated profession. Yeah, that could be interesting. No problem, Basic. Good night to you. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Want to buy shift controls for the scrapper as well. Well, that would be very useful, Metcat. Definitely. Jack the Scrapper. That also has a nice ring to it. Now I believe with Samadan I do have scrap next as part of my TSM macro list. Let me just check that. So I'm holding control down and using my TSM macro here. No, I don't have that on. I did have it on. I must have gotten rid of it. Let me just check my macros. Macros. The TSM macro. Now I believe, I can't remember if this is right or not. So I'm using the Easy Scrap add-on for filling it back up. But I believe if I add slash scrap next, I think that's the command. I may be wrong. Let's try this. Q all. No, it doesn't do anything with control and scroll. There was a command that allowed you to do scrap next as part of the scrapper. I really need the ID or something like that. If I Q all, I got to know what that command is when you click on that. So I'd be Sarah Scrapper. That's brilliant. Now I'd be completely guessing at what it is, unfortunately, from the macro point of view. So I could be here forever, unless anyone knows. Move anything might help me here by showing me the tooltip. Let's move that. Let's click on that. Let's cue that. Now this is telling me scrapping window, word frame, low, scrapping machine frame, easy scrap button, scrapping machine frame, timer tracker. No, I don't think. There we go. Slash click, easy scrap, keybind frame. Oh, thank you, Tower. I was just looking for that. Is that what I've got here? I can't see it here on the iframe. No, that's what you use. Okay, so let me just turn this off because this completely confuses me with move anything on. Let me try this out. I'll borrow this from Tower. Slash click, easy scrap. Hold on. Let's copy that. Macros. Yeah. Let's paste it in there. And then let's put the slash in there. So we're adding this to the TSM scroll wheel. Click easy scrap, scrap keybind frame. Okay, let's save that. Let's try that. Okay, fantastic. Learning something new here. There we go. So now it's automatically started scrapping. So now I could, but use Billis's scrapper. Yeah, exactly. So whilst this is running, I'm not going to look at it, and we can carry on scrapping whilst I read the chat, which is fantastic. But I'm still using my control and using my wheel mouse up and down as I'm scrapping, so I'm still having a manual input. But thank you, Tower, that's absolutely brilliant. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So this is probably one of the fastest ways to just continuously scrap for the moment. So it might have taken a little while to come through, Jack, as Silent Mouse was saying, but we'll give it a little go. That's how you open cards, is it, Dressing Rose? Just by using your mouse wheel up and down. Helps so much, so fun to help back. No problem, Tao. It's lovely to have everyone sharing their knowledge. So absolutely fantastic. That's what I love so much about this community, is everyone is happy to share. So thank you very much indeed. But this way we can at least scrap quite relatively safely with little lag, and the mailbox is very close. So if I have a lot of Wait, you just tuned in? How does this work? So you can open cards with the yes, Drizzling Rose has a lot of information on that one, certainly. She is the person to talk to. Silent Mouse has got the macro there that we're using here to just carry on scrapping, which we're adding to our TSM list of commands that automatically get used whenever I hold control and wiggle my mouse button. So with all that lot made, that's done, and then all I'm left in my bags is the blues that I haven't disenchanted yet. So again, I can use Control X to keep my my TSM destroy. Now it's still got stuck, even though we're in a less laggy area, so it's not foolproof. Now using a using a macro for this would help. I know Wave has got one that he posted in my Discord. We could use that. If we could include that with this, then that might work as well, I guess. By default, sorry, it's AFK a few minutes. No problems. Go Sierra. We're basically, what we're doing is we are scrapping at the same. We're continually re-scrapping, basically by with the scrapper when you hit the Q all on easy scrap, and once you've scrapped 9, we want it to carry on scrapping. So what we do is on our TSM macro, if we go here, it's got the cancel, scan, the destroy, shopping, auctioning, crafting. We've also added in an extra line here, /click easy scrap keybind frame, which means that we carry on scrapping at the same time. So now I can literally just go straight over here and open up a fresh batch of tie spray braces. Don't worry, I'm not going to do this till the end of the stream. I just wanted to test this out. But the main thing here was just to make sure it worked. I've got a whole load of braces I need to scrap, so this is going to be my new resting point for a while. It's a shame the flight point's a bit too far away. If we could hearthstone somewhere closer, that would be ideal, definitely. That we can scrap pet battle except with a single hand. We've got some sales coming in there as well. That's good. There we go. So that's carrying on. That's recovered item isn't showing there. What's that? There's nothing in there, so let's delete that. That might be a slight glitch. We'll go back this way. Might have to do a /reload on that one. Everything else is still coming through, so we've got lots and lots of stuff here. There. Get a razor nugget or similar mouse, and you can assign a macro to it. Especially useful with a single hand. That could be useful, definitely. Especially useful if nursing the baby, exactly. Yeah, so you're still around, but you've got it attached to you. And then this is the best thing, actually, is the distance between here and the mailbox. This is the best thing about this location, more than anything else. But I won't carry on with scrapping here because we've got a whole load of stuff here, but I do need to actually get some gloom dust going. So what I will do is, what I've got here is I'll take this batch of greens and blues, and I'm going to disenchant all of these because I want some gloom dust, because there were some enchants we had in our list that we weren't able to make. Okay, what's the thing that lets you leave one space open on bags whilst taking items from the mailbox? Okay, Metcalf, that's an easy one. That one is in the easy, if I can remember where it is. I believe it's in settings under inventory mailing. I've got this amount of bag space to keep free. I've got mine set to 3. So basically that means that when TSM is opening mail, it will always save. Well, in my case, it's got 2, so you have to almost give it a little bit extra. It doesn't work if you've mailed a whole load, multiple items to one character, because that still counts as one mail. So if I mail over 12 items and I've got 2 spaces free, it will completely fill up my spare slots. So it doesn't always work, but it is good for single items like this, certainly. Thank you, Ham Sandwich. Good to have you here. Hope you're doing well. If you're an engineer's auction house spot right next to the scrapper in Zeldazar, even better. Scrapping is good for your health. Scrapping is bad. Scraping is bad. Yes, very, very different meanings on different words, definitely. There's no mailbox. For Horde, you think there's no mailbox that's that close to the scrapper. Yeah, that is definitely a bonus, not having to do the extra run. I will definitely be using this in the future for more of my scrapping needs, definitely. If I can manage the flight across. It's not too bad, actually. The time I probably save in not having to go back and forth is definitely worth it. Nib7, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to see you here. We're doing something slightly more tedious just at the moment. We're going through and just disenchanting some things. Simply because I need to restock on some of this. I probably actually need to go visit my garrison and get myself some hexweave as well, because my tailoring at the moment needs a lot of restocking. For the mail add-on postal has 1 through 10 of keep bag space free, and it counts per item. So even if one mail has tons of items, it'll leave room if it shows. It also has a list of all the alts in your account with the class's color code, and it shows their level. It's a must for your type of crafting. That sounds very very thorough, Drizzling Rose. I like the idea of that. You can enable fast loot for that as well. That is true, actually, Ghost Sierra. That's probably more useful if I am not using TSM for this, because I know fast loot add-ons do interfere with TSM to some extent. If I was to use a macro for this instead, that I could probably speed this process up a little bit more. That would be my next thing to try, is to, rather than use TSM Destroy, is to use a macro for this. You do crafting on one character and do the auction house on another. Will the crafting character consider the items posted by my auction character when restocking? I'm not sure with working multiple accounts. Oh, actually no, it's not multiple accounts, is it? That's actually on one character. Crafting on one character and do the auction house on another one. Will the crafting character consider the items? If you set it to, if you go into your gather window, is the one I'm thinking of. So if we go into TSM and we go onto my groups, let's clear the queue and let's restock this lot. And we have all this stuff here, and then we go to my gathering tab here, and then you can select Samadan, we select my profession, like say tailoring. Then what I can do here is set my different sources, so it will look in this order of priority. First look at the guild bank, then the vendor, craft when profitable, auction house, and my source number 7 I could say alts, and so make sure that I get the item from my alts, something like that. That should work. The add-on fast loot, however, works perfectly fine with TSM. Okay, thank you, Ghost Sierra. I'll have to look into that one. Also lets you, what's that? Looks impressive. Did I miss that? There we go. Oh, Dondiets, thank you for stopping by. Good evening to you. Sorry, I missed that earlier. It's like 100 of them. Also lets you control click on an item when sending mail, and it will fill out the mail on that kind of item. That sounds pretty useful. Work for free for Elon Musk. His companies are so great and awesome. that's a testament to a company of working for free. Definitely, it's no longer work. Then it's a joy to be there. Okay, whilst I'm here, I still got a load to disenchant, but what I can do is probably look at what I need to restock on, because I've got all this stuff. Now I do need to visit the guild bank for this. Thankfully I have mobile banking, so we'll have a look at that whilst we're here. Let's go here. Oh, I need to also sort that out. That's the wrong window anyway. We need spellbook and abilities. We want mobile banking, so we'll have access to my guild bank. Then I'll need to bring up tailoring again, and I need to open the task list. And we haven't done our daily cooldown for hexweave, so rather than using Ghost Sierra's lovely extra icon here, I'm actually going to do it using the TSM task list. That's the only one I tend to do, so it's quite easy for me. And then I got some stuff from the guild bank, so I need to collect up all of that. So whilst we're here, we'll use my guild bank. We'll move all of that. On the English client, it actually crafts it. Oh, did you not get that in the regular one? It's interesting. Browse is great, but the music does great after the millionth time. True. Bizarre music in Zoltazar. It's, yeah, I mean, I would love to have a bit more variety, definitely. Also where the broodsaw is, yeah. So in terms of tailoring crafts, we've got some stuff from the auction house here. Bolts of ember silk, you're actually saying to buy from the auction house. They must be cheap if those are on there. Let's have a look at this whilst we're here. Shopping tab, scan all. Shalder silk is looking cheap. What do we need here? 407 Shalder silk. There's 300 at 3 gold 50. And then 1,000 at 20 gold. We won't buy those, but we'll buy all of those instead. I'll take those. Bolts of netherweave. Bolts of ember silk, you're telling me my crafting cost here is actually minus 7 gold. So the bolts are actually cheaper at 9 gold 50. And the rest are here at 130 gold. I need 20. I'm going to take all 37. Whilst we've got them here. And then we've also got Shadow silk we can't get. Bolts of netherweave, we might as well pick those up as well. They're going to save me a bit of crafting time buying those. So my crafting cost again is 2 gold 25. So I might be tempted to buy up all of these. So I'm going to switch to the standard bolt of nether weave. We'll have a look at here, and we're going to buy everything including that lot in one go. Now TSM won't recall that because I'm doing it here, so that won't be included in my accounting data, unfortunately, and it still thinks I want to buy some here. And volatile life, we could probably use alchemy for this, but my mat cost is actually telling me 90 gold here, so 64 gold. I can't remember what volatile life is. How much do I need? 33 of it. I'm going to buy it here because this is going to be a profit for the moment. I'm just going to buy what I need. So I'm going to buy this. Save me jumping between characters for the moment. We'll buy that as well. And then we'll come over to our mail and we can at least pick up all our purchases that we just bought. There we go. Still got that recovered item that's stuck there. And we've got a whole load of tailoring crafts to do here. So we'll jump over, we'll use the standard interface for this. Bolt of imbued frostweave. We need 54 of those, so let's start with those. Now I missed a whole load of stuff on the chat there, so let me just scroll back up. Just open the TSM task. It literally only opens the crafting of your alchemy, and you're on the German client. That's a shame. Have you got? Is it because you had the TSM profession window open? Because it doesn't work on this. If I click craft, the other problem I have is TSM only crafts one thing. It doesn't do a whole load of them. Whereas on the standard interface, it'll rapidly just go through them all. What else did I miss? Your TSM add-on runs super slow. Do you reckon it's the RAM, CPU issue, or the add-on itself? When you scanned, it was so fast, and yours takes forever. I have noticed it's my server as well is quite fast. It's not just down to TSM. I went onto the Draenor server, which is where my son's got his new Horde character, and I tried selling some things on there, and it was really, really slow by comparison. But high pop servers were definitely awful. Sometimes it's time of day, depending on the auction house locations as well. I do have a crafting enchant for Samadan. but it doesn't work for imbued as well. You're on Draenor, can confirm. Yes, definitely. When you post items, you have to wait 5 seconds after you put the item on the auction house, else it won't post. It can be some servers. I'm blessed with Shadowsong at the moment. It's a lot quicker than many servers, certainly. Yeah, Draenor and Silvermoon are not good for gold making. It just takes a long time to just post anything. I just put like 5 or 8 items on there, and it took a long time. Argent Dawn the same as well. It works on German clients too. You just need to have the TSM user interface open, not the standard one. Yes, okay, Ghost Sierra, that works. Excellent, fantastic. Ravencrest as well. Yeah, any of the larger servers definitely do have an issue, certainly. You have the tune on a low pop server. Oh right, okay. It might not necessarily a very low pop server, and it's rather slow. I wonder why that is. Maybe there's another factor at play at this point. Also glad to have moved to Stormscale from Ghostlands. Is that the same for you, Lady Daisy? Alright, so we've gone through this. We've gone through and made those. We can make the imbued silk weave. And do I have this on my list? I don't have it on my list. Let's search for it. Imbued silk weave. Oh, we do have it on our favourites. I just couldn't spot it. There it is. It's right there. Imbued silk weave is the Arcana and that. What's this for? What do I need the imbued silk weave for? What am I making with that? Crafting. What needs imbued? Oh, the imbued silk weave bag. Okay. Well, that's worth making because we sold one for 10,000. So I will make that. Let's switch back to that. I will make some of that. Okay, that's easy enough. Can the auction house automatically undercut with 1 silver? The WoW system, not at the moment. TSM can do that, although there's no point in doing that now. You might as well match the price because it's a last in first out system now. What helpful for you instead of scanning 6 groups, run 3 batches or 2? Is that on multiple accounts? On Silvermoon EU, it takes you 30 minutes to post your complete bag of items. Wow, that is tough, definitely. Bolt of silk cloth. That's an easy one. I'll take those 2. And that's our tailoring crafts done. So now we can close this down. Well, there goes an Accord of Haste. We can switch back to the standard one. So we're missing hexweave cloth. We need 74. We can go over and collect some of that. We're also missing blood of Sargeras at this point. So we can at least make some of these things. I'm going to start... oh, I need the blood of Sargeras for the imbued silkweave bag, so that's a shame. I can at least make some of the other things whilst I'm here. The frostweave bags being a start. No problems, Nib. Good to have you here. Taramil takes about 20 minutes to post 500 items. It's been like this since 8.3 dropped. Kind of just put up with it now. It can be tricky on the big servers. If that's the one you've chosen to stay, then yeah, the good thing is that you're at least in the same boat as everyone else. It's not necessarily a computer problem or anything like that. It is just the server. Can you in TSM turn off undercutting completely? You have it at 0 copper, but it still seems to undercut. It shouldn't do, Lady Daisy. It should still... Oh, here comes the netherweave bags. They're so slow. It should match the price at 0 copper. When you try to post an item on the auction house, in the WoW system, it won't. Is that a bug? Do you have enough money? Would be my first question. Because you have to be able to pay for the deposit fee. I play on Taramil. Maybe I should open your guild and make a small gold making community. Not a bad idea, Disney Rose. Double check if you have the bid option activated. Perhaps that interface. That could be another option. Thank you, Gosio. Should you undercut or post at your min buyout? I wouldn't undercut your min buyout because you'd be going lower, but I would post. Usually, I tend to post at my min buyout. I'm selling a flying carpet here. This should be good. It depends on the items though. Sometimes I just won't bother because I'll just won't have. There'll be too much competition below my min buyout. Oh, it just seems like it undercuts then. It could be that it's just actually just matching the price. There goes a Hydro Expedition bag. Okay, so in chance we can make a few more of these because we've got the Gloom Dust now. So we'll swap over to that and we'll start making a few of these whilst I've got them in my list. I'll just run through as many as I can in terms of queuing these up for selling until I run out of materials. I still need to do a fair amount of scrapping to get the veiled crystals for this. I think I'm a long way off here. I'll have to have a look, and there's also a lot of other stuff I'm missing here from a gathering perspective. Oceanic Restoration, Machinist Brilliance. These ones seem easy enough. And then, now we're missing the veiled crystals. Now I could use some of my expulsum here. We have 84 left. I could carry on scrapping and things like that, but I'll keep it like this for the moment and let's post on what we have managed to make. That's got ourselves a little bit further in terms of restocking. We've got a whole load of stuff we need to restock on here. So we've actually managed a fair amount in this time, which is good. So we'll post all of this on. Flying Carpet's only 700 gold, but that is... how much of a profit is that? 524 profit, so that's still reasonable. The shirts are going back on. Some enchants coming back on. Netherweave bags. Azure Silk Hood is very cheap. It's only a 4 gold profit, but that was fairly trivial to make. Hydro Expedition bag would be nice to make that, because that's a good 4,000 profit. 4,700 profit if I sell one of those. Last sold 12 days ago, according to TSM now. And in terms of Jack was asking for the profits as well, weren't you? Hopefully most of my profits should have come through now. So for the past, if we look at our past week, past 7 days, so we are looking at a negative profit of minus 21,000. That is because I spent, see now it's telling me I spent 225,000 gold on Tide Spray linen. I'm sure I spent more than that, but that is my actual big spend here because I restocked on a whole load of Tide Spray, which is why my profit there is showing an actual negative. Once I sell these enchants that are coming through, then hopefully my profit will be higher. Because if we look at the last month, we are looking at a total profit of 355,000. Total gold spent 1.4 million. Total gold earned 1.8 million. Average earned per day 62,000. So that's probably a bit more representative from the past month. The past year is obviously, now that's saying a total profit 5.3 million in total from the past year, although I've obviously bought the Brutosaur. No, it was before then I bought the Brutosaur, wasn't it? I can't see beyond the past year now. Maybe I need to clean up my accounting data at some point, but that's maybe something for another time. What else can we do at this point? We could make ourselves a hexweave bag. That would be useful. In terms of our gathering, what else were we missing on? I didn't select everything, so let's just check this. Let's go through my auctions. Got some sales coming through them. And go to my enchanting. So we're still missing a whole load of stuff here. We haven't got our gathering for enchanting or our cooking. There's a lot of stuff here that we would need. A lot of stuff from the auction house. Primordial Ruby, River's Heart, we might as well get from El Morte. Mysterious Essence I can make. Light Parchment's a vendor thing. Some of this is from the guild bank as well, which should be easy. Temporal crystals there. You're telling me I need 72, so I'll have most of those probably. If I don't, I can just carry on with my daily cooldown on those. So there's a lot of different things I could do. Maybe I'm kind of loath to leave this area because I'd like to stay here for the next time. So I might actually, what I'll do is I'll leave Samadan here. And that can be my scrapping point for next time I log on. How did I set up my mouse wheel macro? It's in the TSM settings. You go into, I can't show you here, TSM, settings, macros, update existing macro, or you'll have one that says create macro. You might have to press it a couple of times for it to work. I'm going to see if I get a Silas proc. That's the last thing I do. I'll get Silas if it's the last thing I do. TSN, good evening to you. What's my goal for Shadowlands? Before Shadowlands, it's to have every profession ready. Do that in TSM settings. What's that for? How do you like the new auction house posting system? I like it, definitely. When you post at min buyout, then it won't be seen as the cheapest, so why bother posting? Because someone will buy it anyway because it's not necessarily the cheapest. The new auction house system forces you to buy the cheapest at all times, definitely. Do I have a string for bolt of imbued netherweave or just the standard? I just use the standard one, Silent Mouse. I just use the crafting, whichever's the cheapest, either buying it from the auction house or the crafting. So we had some sales that just come in here. We've also bought our tokens. We need to register those for some Blizzard balance. So having some money here is good. What we would really like though is a Silas Sphere of Prosperity. Nope, it's a Stone of Transportation. Sad face. No Silas for me for the entire week, which is why my alchemy was down to 60 odd thousand gold for this week, because I haven't been able to restock on all my alchemy that I wanted to do. Don't know if it's possible you can kindly explain how the new auction house works. Well, I can give you a quick rundown. Basically what happens now, if we go into the standard interface, you now have things which are commodities. So basically things like, say, tie spray linen. You can do a search for just a small amount, and then is there no tide spray linen from looking at this? Where's all the tide spray gone? Oh, I'm looking in consumables, that's why. Got me confused for a minute there. There we go, there's tide spray linen. Then I click on that, and then these commodities will now show me, this will be several sellers at this price. It's not a consumer, yes, thank you. There you are. Science is the most stupid thing ever to a profession, exactly. So at the moment they are currently priced at 6 gold each. My average buy price is at 4 gold 49, so I never buy them at that price. Region market average is 3 gold 89. There's 20,000 here, but I would have to buy them. If I want to buy tide spray, I can either click on this and it'll buy the 2,000, or I can click on here and it'll buy everything up to that point, telling me the total price is 147,000. There's no longer the possibility of just choosing to buy anything higher. I mean, I can't just pick on these two that are 1 million. I'll have to actually buy everything here for 2 million gold. Thankfully I don't have 2 million gold, so I'm not going to click on that. And so the system it has now is it's last in, first out. So if I was to post some tie spray linen on now, if I go over to sell, oh, looks like Wow's died. Whoops, I think I broke it. Hold on one moment. I think I broke it. I'm not sure it's coming back. Hold on. I think it was the 2 million tide spray that did it. That was the main issue. Hold on, let me see if I can close that window. There we go. I have to bring WoW back up. I just had to force close it. There we go. It's not the internet this time, thankfully. There we go. Back into the scene. And go back into Awakening. I'll go back into Awakening, yeah. There we go. I scrapped Windows. How did I record my idle screen? Looks like, oh, thank you, Go Sierra. That was my, I built that using WoW assets, obviously. And then because that's my profession, I do 3D art for a living, I was able to utilize that, and I made the fountain, did a fluid simulation for that, and then just animated the camera doing its kind of like rotation-y thing. It's the same as my starting soon screen as well, which is the other thing with the whole planet. I built that using the map of WoW and everything. I'd love to do more of that stuff. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do just more and more WoW stuff. Now it's just a race. Well, I gave you more sales because you could benefit from making the good stacks, and now it's just a race to see who's the cheapest on the auction house. It does take away part of that pretty stack ability, which was definitely very useful. Zoballs, thank you very much for the follow. In supermarkets, the opposite in WoW. Supermarket, the milk is at the front. There's a cooler. It's the oldest milk, but last in, first out. But in WoW, it's as if the store filled the milk from the front in, so you get the newest milk. It's bad business in real life, but the milk in the bag would go back. Yeah, it's like the stores. And Sickline, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, I like that analogy. I can see the reason why Blizzard did it is because they didn't want to have the auction house cluttered up with loads and loads and loads of undercuts. This way they are trying to encourage the players to match the same price, because effectively it's the same thing whether you undercut or whether you're last in first out. It's still effectively the same system, and this way is just a lot neater for the end user, which is what they're kind of aiming for at the moment. Oh, excellent, Camby. For me, you set a max posting amount on the auction house. Interesting idea, as in like you wouldn't be less posting and higher prices. I mean, this method does still favour the frequent poster over the person that will just fire once and forget for 48 hours, basically. And still some professions get undercut by a lot. They do, and there's not much we can really do about that. Everyone will post for very different reasons. That's the main thing, really. I just hated manipulation that went on with the single stackers trying to manipulate prices. Yeah, it does happen. I think I'm definitely in favour of the new system. Wow, and with that note, I've just noticed the time. I've gone a little bit over. I know I was a bit late starting, but I better wrap it up here, otherwise it's going to get late. Want to say big, massive thank you to everyone who has hung out in the stream tonight. Yes, I've only been, it does say 1 hour 46 minutes. Was about to warn me as well, thank you, Mushy. But my next stream, I will aim to do another one on Tuesday, so it won't be too long away. I want to say a big, massive thank you to everyone who's hung out in chat tonight. Thank you very much for the hype train earlier. That was amazing. Thank you all for your support. It was lovely to have you here. I hope we all learnt something and was able to share our gold making knowledge. And let's go and have a look and see who... Oh, I need to actually... There it is. Let's see who we can throw a raid on over to. Who have we got that I haven't done in a while and is also English speaking? I know Gold Goblin Net's on, but that's German speaking mainly. I will do Arnota, I believe. I haven't done Arnota in a little while, so I'll just go and check Arnota out for continuing the gold making thread. There we go. Arnota looks like he's doing some multi-box farming. That should be interesting. So we'll send some love over to Arnota. Alright, let me just set this up. I'll do a raid. That should work. Arnota 42. Okay, thank you everyone for a lovely stream. Till next time, happy gold making for myself, my not present cats. I wish you all the very best and a great week in these troubling times as well. Just finished leveling Enchanted 171. Can I explain the shuffle? Sorry, I can't at this moment, but Chris, because I'm literally just finishing. But catch me on my Discord and I'll happily explain it to you. Until next time, good night, farewell, and I'll see you very soon.